Hello, church, and welcome to my pastor's update for Wednesday, May 13th, coming to you from some undisclosed part of our church campus. So today, one of the things I'm reflecting on is, I think yesterday, it finally happened, and that is, what's it been, about 2 months that we've been kind of doing the quarantine thing and in this new rhythm, this new routine. And maybe it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before, but I started to really just notice the ways that I've been just losing a little of that inner feeling of mojo or creative spark, or some might call it a thread of that drive, of that connection to something. You know, I don't know about you, but my way of kind of entering into these types of moments is to meet the challenge. And there's this buzz, this energy of stepping up to the plate and kind of moving with it and being fluid and finding your way, and the creative, energy that comes from that is real. And in recent days, I've just been noticing, we've been talking about different ways that what we're doing, how it's working, how it's great, but how it also, we maybe want to do more or better or different. And that's all important. Those are good conversations. But I noticed it hit me. I was like, recently with the kids, it's been harder to do the schoolwork. They're losing focus. It's more pulling teeth just to get the stuff done. And I'm finding my reserves a little more drained. Just noticing that feeling that, from the beginning, I wondered when it was going to happen. So it looks like about 2 months for me that it started to happen. And so it makes me wonder how you're all feeling these days, just with the whole rhythm, the sense of direction, the sense of connection to something meaningful, purposeful. So that's where I am today, and feeling okay in that. That's part of it, just to allow myself to be there. But at the same time, it hit me. So I was encouraged then to come across one of the reflections from a couple days ago from one of our still speaking authors, a UCC pastor named Vince Amlin. So I want to share with you his reflection today. He titles it Previously On. It begins with a quote from the book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 2. Stephen replied, "The glory of God appeared to our ancestor Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia, before he lived in Haran." And then Vince writes, "We're catching up on a lot of TV right now. Thankful for every new season that drops during quarantine, and thankful especially for a good Previously On. Having watched the entire first season in one lazy weekend a year ago, the recap that starts the next season is essential. If it's well made, the whole story comes sweeping back. Oh, that's right, she turned out to be his mother. It reminds you of what's come before, so that you're right back in the action, ready to know what happens next." Stephen delivers a massive recap in Acts chapter 7. He makes it through much of the Hebrew Bible, reintroducing his audience to Abraham, Joseph, Moses. Oh, that's right, she turned out to be his mother. He's trying to make a point to his audience about what kind of story God has been telling. One of freedom, one of deliverance, one in which God overcomes every obstacle put in their way. He reminds them, but I suspect he's also reminding himself, because when he delivers this speech, he's about to be executed. He pauses in this moment of crisis to remember what's happened to this point, all the oppressed ones that God has sided with, all the suffering ones God has delivered, all the times it seemed like the story was over and God somehow found a way to keep it going. And when he finishes, Stephen is ready to know what happens next. If you, like me, are having days when you lose the thread, when it feels like the story is coming to an end, remember, let it come sweeping back. All you have been through to get to this point, all the obstacles overcome, and whose story you are a part of. He ends with a prayer. Deliverer, I pause in this crisis to remember. Make me ready for what happens next. Friends, in this unprecedented time of change and adapting to change, may you find the space to remember, to reconnect to that deeper thread that helps you feel guided, grounded, directed, that your days may still be vibrant, life-giving, and you may find joy. Until we meet next time, I hope you are held in the loving hands of Christ.